Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Let me first of all just say how much I've enjoyed working with you, not only on this committee, but across the we've not always agreed. We've been able to disagree respectfully, and I think you've done an extraordinary job. I think this body will be lesser, and a whole lot of folks are going to think back about who stood up for folks who don't always get a fair break, time and again. And it's been a real honor to work with you. And we're going to miss you. Obviously, we're going to miss Senator Tester. And I also just have to say, my friend Senator Tillis, we work on a whole lot of stuff together. And, Director, I've had disagreements, but I actually think, the record of the CFPB under your tenure, Lord knows it's been attacked a lot. The constitutionality has been attacked a number of times. Again, I'm glad the court stood up for the funding mechanism we have. But I think about some of the things that you've done and what it's actually doing for Americans and Virginians. Recently, CFPB announced that it was returning about $1.8 billion to 4 million consumers who've been misled. I can tell you that the Bureau is now in the process of distributing $55 million back to Virginians. That's money back in your pocket. I'm not sure that those Virginians who are getting those refunds are going to say, gosh, that's CFPB. That must be some over-the-top partisan entity. And something you're working on now, that I think probably has some opportunity for broad bipartisan. The proposed rule on data brokers. This is something that, again, I don't think there's a Democrat-Republican view. We looked recently about my head's been exploding about the so-called Salt Typhoon and how the telecoms have all been penetrated by China. They can get all this information. But the truth is, sometimes our adversaries can buy this information from data brokers, and particularly when you're thinking about even members. I think it was Duke came out with a study around getting critical information about our members of the armed forces. Think about, my goodness, their ability to go after those who are not undercover in the intelligence community. Can you share a little bit about how these data brokers, how adversarial countries like China and Russia use our existing rule structure? They don't have to hack into us. They can actually just use the existing marketplace, and what kind of valuable information is then potentially put at risk.
Well, we used to, a long time ago, think about data breaches, about hackers getting into your accounts, taking your money. But when you look at Equifax, Anthem, Marriott, it has all been Chinese Communist Party, Chinese People's Liberation Army, other state and non-state actors designing a way to collect information about us for their purposes. But now you don't even need to hack in sometimes. You just go and buy it. You can also, if you're a stalker, go buy information about the person who is trying to escape you. You can also, as a scammer, buy lists of people who are vulnerable, maybe suffering from cognitive decline. But it is clear that we received a lot of input to make sure that guarding people's privacy from data brokers is increasingly a national security imperative too.
Well, again, I think this is an area that does fit clearly, squarely into consumer financial protection, and I know there's a lot of interest bipartisan-wise, even on legislation, so I hope we will pursue that. I'm going to raise one last topic because it's a topic that my friend Senator Kennedy and I have worked on. As somebody who was here, and proud to be part of the Dodd-Frank, proud to be part of the portions of Dodd-Frank legislation were actually bipartisan, Title I and Title II. One of the things that came out of that was FSOC, this notion of creating an entity that looks above the silos. And candidly, under both Democrats and Republicans, I don't think FSOC has been what I hoped it was going to be. And this is as much an appeal to the incoming administration. But Senator Kennedy and I have got a bill. If there was ever a topic that seems to be made for an FSOC type review, it would be AI and the ability to have AI manipulate the public markets. I know you don't have much time, but if you could just touch on the importance of FSOC and also this still overhang we have with the AI and financial market manipulation.
Yeah, I agree. I think what you and Senator Kenney have put forward, I really worry about disruptions to our Treasury markets, which could really dislocate us and have serious effects on our economy. I think it's true that the Financial Stability Oversight Council, it's good at writing reports, but it's not really been fully exercising how to make sure that these systemic, potentially dangerous systemic events are avoided. So I think we'll want to keep working with you and Senator Kenney on others to make sure that those are not just initials, but it's actually doing something to protect our financial system.
And again, thank you, Mr. Chairman. And I know you're good at cutting off when I try to steal that extra 30 seconds.
Today, I would let you go as long as you want, Mark.
Thank you, Chair.
Senator Kennedy from